Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another episode of The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. It is so good to be back before you guys for another season. Season 5 continues on The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. I'm still celebrating. Okay, it is good to be back before you all under the sound of my voice. Giving honor to God, who is the head of my life. I have had the opportunity to complete 4 seasons before I have arrived here at season 5 as we continue. I don't take this opportunity for granted, nor do I take it lightly. I appreciate God's ability to keep using me and being with me and being able to find inspiration from the different places and people that I have met and came across. I'm eternally grateful and I will always keep expressing my gratitude because it keeps me grounded as well as humble. So, first and foremost, you know that I always have to thank God. I have to go ahead and acknowledge all that He's done for me, all that He is doing. I definitely got to go ahead and give it up to Him for giving me the gift of gab. Definitely thankful for my parents, my son. Um, yeah, I'm so very, 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 very grateful for them. Definitely so. None of this would be possible without them. None of this will be possible without the time and the effort that they have put into me for creating me and being a procreator after God, planted the seed. Also to my newfound boo, thank you. Thank you. Thank you all to my family, my friends, my supporters. None of this would be possible without you tuning in to listen, like, share, comment. Thank you. I'm going to keep telling you guys thank you. I'm going to keep giving you the praise that you deserve because you are worthy of it. So definitely thank you very much. All right. So let me go ahead and share with you guys the brief history of the Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. Originally, this began back in November of 2020. During the pandemic, my dad and I were working on projects and having morning meetings. One day during morning meeting, my dad and I created the Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay because we were asking each other thought-provoking questions. And I ran with the idea of being able to reach a bigger audience with some of these thoughts and thought-provoking questions and ideas, wanting to create an actual safe space for others to engage my content and just kind of share out, if they had like some of the same beliefs or anything that they wanted to share, right? Then we decided that I would go live in the months that have 30 days, hence as to why we're here this month, April, June, September, and November. And the reason why we chose the months that have the 30 days is because it provided me with 30 episodes for each season. So that's just pretty much my gist on how we got started with that and my little story. So today is day 5 of the Breakfast Show, Marisha LaShay. This show will be in effect for the next 25 days. I will continue the marathon of using my gift of gab to inspire, to motivate, and to encourage others to reach for the stars based on these real world topics, ideas, and the various platforms that I am on. So for the next part of the show, this is the mental check-in. You know that this is like my favorite part because how you start off your morning, kind of dictates your day. So for me today, I started off I was in a weird place. I felt very, very low this morning. I was about a good 3, definitely about a good 3. But after, of course, meditation and prayer, it rose my mood. So now I'm about at a solid 7.9, inching on to an 8. And I feel like that because as I've kickstarted my day and had the opportunity to just kind of go and touch in and check in with my creator, it has allowed my mood to shift. It has allowed my focus to shift as the day have began to get started. Plus, I've been starting my day later than 5:30 in the morning because this is spring break. I just had to keep it real with myself about this 5:30 ministry. We back on next week at the 5:30, but this week I'm gonna go ahead and give myself some grace and to just kind of rock out with spring break, being that of course I'm an educator and sometimes you have to listen to your body and understand, what the initial plan is, but I have been really just wrestling with myself about that. And today I'm coming out to you guys as far as we're having a transparency moment. I have not been meeting my 5:30 in the morning ministry. Okay. Forgive me. But going forward, I'm back on it next week. This spring break just kind of hit me in a frenzy. It got me in a strong chokehold. All right. Of just listening to my body and just balancing and catching up with everything. And that's okay because you still been getting your episodes daily. So I just wanted to just verbalize that and share that with you guys with this moment of transparency as it relates to as this brand is constantly growing. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being flexible. Thank you for being patient. Meanwhile, I'm moving on to the question of today is, before I begin, please be sure to drop your mental check-in, being on a scale rated from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest of your life, worst day, and the lowest of your life, 10 being the best day of your life. I'm at an all-time high. Everything's amazing. Everything's going good. Can I be above or below the scale? Absolutely. Nobody can tell you how to feel. This is the start of your day. This is the start of your morning, and you want to kind of just tap in. So with that being said, please do so depending on what platform you're on. If you're on YouTube, drop it in the comments. If you're on Facebook, drop it in the comments. If you just don't feel led to share, that's cool too. But it's all on you. And I'm going into the question for today is all the places I will go. Do you mind if I share? All right, is the question. So over the course of 2 months, I have been a busy bee, going, nonstop from vacation to celebrations. It's been a blessing. But one of my first trips of the new year, I want to talk about where I did 3 states in a matter of 3 to 4 days. So this trip started February 2nd that evening. And I left work and I went straight to the airport because I had to fly into Atlanta to meet up with my friends so we can actually get this show on the road, right? So I was in Atlanta. I flew in that evening. Our flight didn't leave until like 9 p.m. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go get me some grub. I took the opportunity to eat at Fridays. I had always been wanting to try Fridays in the airport, see what it was about. Had some really good food, had some really, really good drinks, left there a little bit of whoop, whoop, tipsy. But yeah, that tipsy and full did it for me because baby, I got on that plane and knockout, a little bit uncomfortable because of the seats in the airline that I flew, but it was definitely just great. For those that's just tuning in or wondering what this video is going to be about, I'm sharing the places that I have went. This is just part one. There's going to be more to come because, as I said, I've been going nonstop. I've been in the air like a flight attendant. So I'm sharing my experience, what happened when I went to Atlanta, how I enjoyed great food and everything, and how I was linking up with my friend. So my friend ended up meeting me at the airport, at the restaurant. We ate, we fellowship, we talked, we laughed, had good drinks, boarded our plane to Las Vegas. And that was cool because we end up arriving in Vegas after midnight, got us a lift, headed to our hotel. And the hotel that we arrived at, or where we were staying when we arrived in Vegas, was the Flamingo Hotel. And I just want to talk about the 8 hour layover that we had, which is why we originally were going to Vegas. Because when I originally bought the tickets were $25, but it had an 8 hour layover in Vegas. So we're like, hey, why not? We could go ahead and kill it. I've been to 3 states in a matter of 2 days. Okay, sounds like a winner to me. Okay, all right. So, like I was saying about my flight, the flight was kind of crazy because of the uncomfortableness of the chairs, but also because the person sitting next to me had the most awful smelling snack ever. Okay. I mean, this person could have chose any other kind of snack to bring, but you brought the stankiest snack you could find, knowing that you're going to be sitting next to people. But I digress. Let me stay on topic. So my go-to website when I'm normally like booking hotels and things like that is booking.com. And I normally go to booking.com, but I also wanted to share with you guys what the actual hotel looked like because I did not provide any footage, but what I did do is to make sure that I could share with you guys what the actual hotel look like. It's very beautiful, very, very beautiful. This is what it looks like, very beautiful. Not too far from the airport, about maybe like a 10-minute drive, but definitely not too far. Of course, I'm on the actual site itself. You can go through booking.com. You can also go through the actual site itself. And you can compare your rates. They just kind of give you just an overall scope of the website itself. This picture does not do any justice. This is really beautiful. The scenery is amazing. Um, just they also have so much to see in this hotel. You know, like we had a late check-in when we checked in. Of course, they had a liquor store within the actual hotel. They had the gift shop. I mean, it was just great, you know. Definitely much so. Very, very great. Very great. I did not have an opportunity to go and like kind of walk around or anything like that, but it was amazing. Of course, they have the casino, they have shows, they have different attractions, restaurants, different nightlife opportunities. For those that never been to Vegas, it's the city that doesn't sleep. All these lights that you see, this is what you get, right? This is what you get. Okay. Definitely so. Okay. It is really phenomenal. The oh, honey, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. Do you hear me? Baby, this hotel didn't owe me nothing. You know, I'm getting better with my footage, praise God. But overall, it was very clean, very beautiful with the interior decorators showing up and showing out with these designs, the different color scheme. It's very bright and vibrant throughout the entire building. Of course, this hotel has self check-in and the staff is on standby. We did have a late check-in, as I mentioned and stated before. But they also have a gift shop. They have the liquor store if you want to go ahead and get you some spirits and liquors. And they also have some of the avenues to other hotels in different places, which I definitely love that about most Las Vegas hotels. It reminds me of an organized maze because if you're in one hotel, you can go ahead and make your way onto another one or a different restaurant or something. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10 because it was short lived. But every moment that I was there, man, that night ended, baby, I was sleeping like a baby. So going on to my next day when we were leaving Vegas, I just couldn't seem to get my life together with my morning routine of trying to get my hair together, trying to style it. I just kind of lost track of time, which put us slightly behind as we're on our way to the airport. Checked out, we was able to book a ride, of course, Lyft, Uber, headed to the airport. But what got me was the panic because I had never received an error message when I went to the kiosk to check in, and I received an error message at the kiosk. So I had to see an agent, and I was real pressed. So I just had to just kind of woosah, kind of reset myself and just kind of calm myself down because what I'm noticing lately about me is I'm starting to just be on the edge. Every little thing just takes me over. Press a button. I'm on the edge, right? So I just had to kind of get that together because that could be a bit much for somebody that's traveling with me. And I never want to try to overdo it or kill somebody traveling by because of my own different things that I have going on or how I feel. So I just had to kind of kill that noise, try to get myself together and reset myself. And then we boarded our plane and we were in Scottsdale in a matter of 2 to 3 hours. When we arrived, we definitely I had to get something to eat because I was starving. So what I did was I ended up going to this place called the Shake Shack. And let me tell you something, the food was amazing. However, I wish that the portions could have been more, a bigger size, and the shake itself was the bomb.com on a scale of 1 to 10. I give it a 9 out of 10. But that was my only complaints that I had. And then, of course, that wasn't going to fill me up. We had to go get some more food. So we ended up going to our local Denny's, which wasn't too far from our hotel. And I had a loaded omelet there, but on a scale of 1 to 10, of course, Denny's is just basic breakfast food. But for me, the food was fresh. Our waitress was awesome. So I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Now, meanwhile, where we were staying, we were able to actually walk, and our resort was actually surrounded by a body of water, a park for people to come out and enjoy themselves. There was a bridge that we had to cross, and mind you, I'm afraid of heights. So I did a quick little power walk over that bridge because I had to train my mind to keep my eyes forward and don't look down or else. Okay. We arrived, and of course, our room wasn't ready, but they did accommodate us by being able to hold our bags and keep them safe while we ran errands and got our lives together. The location was definitely amazing because it was surrounded by a lot of restaurants. However, everything closes early between 10 and 11. They shut it down, so be prepared to sit your tail down and grab your food and alcoholic beverages earlier in the day and not later. Okay, this is not your local Chicago. This is not Atlanta, honey. This is Scottsdale, Arizona, honey, where everything closes. And let me tell you about the liquor store. I've never seen a liquor store more organized than what I've seen here in Arizona, baby. And you could do the drive-through liquor store, which I've known in other states that's possible, but Arizona is on point. The weather was amazing. I mean, man, of course I had to build my itinerary, but I want to take the time out to actually share with you guys what the actual hotel looked like and how amazing it was based on what I had already shared with you guys. This, what you see here is the actual website itself. This is the actual lobby area. This is what it definitely looks like. As I mentioned before, you have a Duke's bar, you have Denny's, which we were there. They had like a little arcade place. This is what the different rooms look like. This is the color scheme throughout all the rooms. But it was definitely worth it. The bed was comfortable. It was great. It was worth it. I wanted to show y'all the pool. Like here it is. Yes, the pool looks exactly like that. It's a vibe. Okay, it's a vibe. It gave what it was supposed to give. If you looked at my Instagram post and I was like day party vibes, and I was walking down the steps, well, baby, this is where I was, honey. I was giving. I wasn't really too sure if I wanted to come back and do a review, but here I am, baby. That place gave what it was gonna give, sweetie. I got my swim on, sweetie. It gave, baby. So I didn't have anything more to say other than overall Arizona was great. But I also dropped some of my content earlier because we went to Lolo's, which is the soul food spot. That was amazing. Great food. I've already posted that on my social media, on my Instagram, also possibly to my Facebook. So definitely feel free to check those videos out. I'll go ahead and run them back for you guys, kind of do like a recap. And then also, we went to a stand-up comedy, where it was improv. So that was different. When you go to these different places, you want to be able to experience different things. And of course, we did go to a day party. And the day party was at a club. It was great. The drinks were great. Give those 5 stars. Yes, it was great. But also, I just definitely appreciate how it was very relaxing. The sun was out. The people were very mannerable, very nice, to share with us different restaurants and things that we did not know because it was our first time there. Of course, my cousins live in Arizona, but them folks ain't even answer the phone. But I love y'all. But I just, next time when I call, y'all need to answer the phone because I wanted to turn up real hard, real bad, real bad. But other than that, everything was good overall. So just to recap where I went, flew into Atlanta to meet up with my good friend. After we hit Atlanta, we flew into Vegas because we had an 8-hour layover. After we left Vegas, we went over to Arizona for about 2 to 3 days. And then we went our separate ways. I flew back into Chicago and my friend flew back into Atlanta. So overall, the trip itself was amazing. 10 out of 10. Great food, great experience, great entourage. Everything was awesome. So definitely feel free to check out Vegas and Arizona. If you have any questions, definitely hit me up. You guys know where to find me. Slide in my DMs, all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for listening. And thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. That was my recap on the places that I have go, part 1. And also just wanted to share current stats with you regarding about my 2 goals from last year. My 2 goals was to expand my listening base to 1,000 listeners. I am currently at 449 listeners actively, and that leads me into my next talk of platforms. I was on maybe 2 to 3 platforms. Now I'm on 10 different platforms. So definitely feel free to check me out from Anchor, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you name it, I'm there. Just definitely expanding this brand. I started off with 7 countries. I'm currently at 12 countries and I have 183 more countries to go. So please help me to continue to keep working on these goals. It is not over. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep striving with your help and your support. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. And I know y'all wondering what's around my neck. Baby, it's a Portable Fan because I'll be having my personal summers. So I'll be doing a review on this as well. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful Wednesday.